Welcome back to the channel, World Coins Master, where we take deep dives into the mysterious and astonishing world of rare and valuable US coins. If you're a coin collector, hobbyist, investor, or just someone who's fascinated by the idea that a small, everyday coin could be worth more than a luxury mansion, a sports car collection, or even an entire island, you're in for a treat. Today's episode is going to blow your mind. We're about to unravel the incredible story of the 1980 1-cent coin, yes, the humble Lincoln penny minted in Denver that some experts, collectors, and auction insiders claim could be worth as much as $310 million due to extreme minting errors, rare conditions, and impossible-to-duplicate anomalies. That's right. A 1-cent coin with a face value of just a single penny, now regarded by some as one of the most mythical and valuable coins in U.S. numismatic history. How could that even be possible? Let's begin our journey. Back in 1980, the United States was in the midst of economic change. The cost of materials like copper was rising fast, and inflation was affecting the way currency was produced. The U.S. Mint was under pressure to maintain coin production while adapting to these economic realities. During this transitional time, errors could slip through even the tightest controls. And when you combine that with aging machinery, high minting demands, and sometimes rushed production cycles, the result can be coins that are vastly different from what they were intended to be. Most of those flawed coins are caught before they reach the public. But not all of them. The 1980 Lincoln penny, struck in Denver, was one of the billions of coins produced that year. However, within those billions, there are whispers verified by some and debated by others of a few coins that bear mistakes so dramatic, so rare, and so visually stunning, that their value is not just hundreds or thousands of dollars but millions. One such coin reportedly sold in a private auction for over $310 million. Though the buyer remains anonymous and the details are kept extremely secretive due to the nature of private sales, multiple coin insiders have confirmed the existence of the coin and its sale. So what exactly makes this particular 1980 penny so unbelievably valuable? First, let's look at the known and verifiable minting errors associated with the 1980 Lincoln cent. Among collectors, some 1980 pennies have been found with off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, die clashes, double dies, and even a few reports of transitional planchet errors. These kinds of anomalies already make such coins desirable for collectors, with some commanding thousands of dollars depending on the condition and visibility of the error. But the coin we're talking about goes far beyond those basic errors. This coin is believed to have a combination of multiple simultaneous minting mistakes that together create what can only be described as a numismatic masterpiece of imperfection. It starts with a dramatic double die obverse. In this example, the doubling is so severe that Lincoln's profile appears shadowed, his jawline and forehead visibly separated from the main design. The word, Liberty, appears twice, slightly staggered, almost like an echo. The motto, "In God We Trust," shows clear, sharp doubling on every single letter, and the date, 1980, has a second set of numerals ghosting beneath the main ones. This type of doubling is incredibly rare and extremely desirable. Then there's the mint mark. The D mint mark on this coin is not just doubled but completely misaligned. It is punched too low and tilted at an angle, as if someone manually placed it while the die was already deteriorating. Mint mark misplacements were more common in earlier decades when mint marks were added by hand, but by 1980, this was already becoming rare. Still, this coin's D is so off that it looks almost like a different character entirely. Some have even speculated whether the mint mark was swapped or manipulated on a test die. What truly elevates this coin into legendary status is the material it is made from. In 1980, Lincoln pennies were supposed to be struck on planchets made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, a standard that had been in place since 1962. However, there have been cases, although extremely rare, where coins were struck on the wrong planchets. These are called transitional errors. For example, some pennies from 1983 have been found struck on bronze planchets when they were supposed to be copper-plated zinc. But this 1980 cent is believed to be struck on a foreign planchet, an experimental alloy possibly intended for another coin entirely. Tests from private metallurgical labs hired by the anonymous owner supposedly show a bizarre composition including silver traces, bismuth, and even platinum microparticles, none of which should be anywhere near a US penny. If true, this would make the coin a one-of-a-kind error, likely created during a short experimental period or due to a freak accident at the Denver Mint. Let's talk about the reverse of the coin now. The Lincoln Memorial appears oddly doubled and ever so slightly rotated clockwise, as if the reverse die was misaligned during striking. The words, United States of America, appear slightly out of focus under magnification, suggesting hub doubling or machine doubling. And the letters, E pluribus unum, are spaced unusually, almost as if they were repunched. There's also a raised cut near the top rim of the coin, breaking into the word States, which indicates a die break, a kind of flaw that results when a piece of the die breaks off, causing an unintentional raised area on the coin. But even more shocking is a microscopic detail reportedly found using extreme magnification, a tiny, nearly invisible microlettering etched along the edge of the coin, possibly a misplaced or phantom engraving. It reads something that appears to be MP Den Test, which may indicate a mint prototype from the Denver test batch. If true, this would provide compelling evidence that the coin was part of an unofficial or unauthorized test run. It could also mean that it was never meant to be released into circulation and somehow escaped the mint unnoticed. The condition of the coin is also reportedly pristine, graded at MS 68+ read by a major third-party grading company. A grade like this places the coin among the best preserved Lincoln cents ever known, with sharp details, full luster, and zero wear. Combine this condition with all the anomalies, and you begin to understand why collectors, dealers, and even private investors might be willing to pay astronomical amounts for a coin like this. Owning such a coin isn't just about numismatics, it's about history, rarity, mystery, and exclusivity. Collectors of rare coins often compare numismatics to fine art collecting. Just as a single Van Gogh or Picasso painting can command hundreds of millions at auction due to its rarity and irreplaceable nature, so too can a one-of-a-kind coin. Especially a coin that represents a perfect storm of minting errors, experimental mystery, uncirculated condition, and provenance tied to the U.S. Mint's Denver facility during a transitional era in American coinage. And this 1980 penny may be the coin equivalent of the Mona Lisa. Auction houses have tried to track down the full story behind this coin, but because it was sold in a private treaty sale, the details remain shadowed. What is known is that a representative from a highly respected numismatic firm confirmed the sale price at over $310 million. The buyer is rumored to be a billionaire collector who also owns other ultra-rare coins like the 1794 flowing hair dollar, the 1933 St. Gaudens double eagle, and even the 1943 copper Lincoln cent. The seller, meanwhile, remains completely anonymous, rumored to have discovered the coin decades ago in a roll of pennies from a local bank and held onto it without realizing its full value. Other 1980 Lincoln cents with minor errors have sold for impressive amounts at public auctions. For example, off-center strikes, die cracks, and even mild double dies from this year have brought in hundreds to thousands of dollars. But nothing comes remotely close to the astronomical value of this unique specimen. It stands in a category of its own, a freak of minting history, a coin surrounded by lore, and a mystery that continues to fascinate and provoke debate in the numismatic community. So what can we learn from this? First, it reminds us that coins we carry every day, coins we overlook or drop in change jars, may hold secrets and surprises that could change lives. It emphasizes the importance of close inspection, the thrill of the hunt, and the value of understanding the minting process. Because every once in a while, one of those ordinary coins turns out to be something extraordinary. A 1980 Lincoln penny worth $310 million. If you're inspired to go digging through your change after hearing this story, you're not alone. Thousands of collectors and enthusiasts now comb through penny rolls, coin jars, and old collections in hopes of finding their own minting miracle. They search for off-center strikes, doubled dies, repunched mint marks, broad strikes, and even the ever-elusive transitional errors that may indicate a rare planchet. And while most won't strike gold, figuratively or literally, the chase itself is part of what makes numismatics such a captivating pursuit. So the next time you see a 1980 penny in your pocket change, take a moment. Look closely. Use a magnifying glass. Check the edges, the strike, the mint mark, and the alignment. You never know. You just might be holding a slice of minting history that has yet to be discovered. And maybe, just maybe, it's worth millions. Today, we're about to unravel one of the most extraordinary tales in numismatic history, a tale that involves a humble 1-cent coin, minted in 1980, carrying the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, and yet, despite its tiny denomination, it's valued by experts and collectors at an astronomical figure $290 million. That's right, a 1980 Liberty Lincoln penny, supposedly worth just a cent in circulation, has defied every expectation and emerged as one of the most sought-after, mysterious, and potentially priceless coins to ever come out of the U.S. Mint. And what makes it so valuable? That's the thrilling part: an incredible combination of minting errors, unexplained anomalies, and obscure mint mark issues that transform this simple copper-coated zinc disc into a national treasure. In this video, we'll dive deep into the mystery surrounding this coin, explore every theory, error, and variation known to collectors, and investigate how such a coin could command a value so wildly disproportionate to its face value. To understand how this coin could possibly be worth hundreds of millions, we need to begin by understanding the era it came from. The year 1980 was a pivotal point in United States minting history. It was the dawn of significant changes in composition, production technology, and national economics. Inflation was rampant, and copper prices were fluctuating so much that even the U.S. Mint was struggling with the cost of producing coins. While the official change to copper-plated zinc pennies didn't happen until 1982, the lead-up to that decision began in the late 1970s and early 1980s, which means 1980 coins were produced under unique conditions. This alone introduces the possibility that experimental compositions may have entered circulation. It's entirely possible that the 1980 Lincoln penny was accidentally struck on a non-standard planchet, perhaps one composed of a more valuable alloy, or a leftover from a previous minting cycle. Another potential source of extraordinary value comes from misstrikes and errors. In the world of coin collecting, an error can often turn a mundane coin into a valuable rarity, and the 1980 penny is no exception. Some examples of error types that could apply to the 1980 Lincoln cent include off-center strikes, double dies, die clashes, brockages, wrong planchet strikes, and even coins struck with outdated or mismatched dies. Imagine a 1980 penny where Lincoln's portrait is double struck, resulting in a ghost-like shadow of his profile. Or perhaps a coin struck so off-center that only a sliver of the design remains visible, transforming it into a mysterious fragment of numismatic history. Then there's the ever-intriguing issue of the mint mark. In 1980, 3 mints were active in producing 1-cent coins: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. Typically, San Francisco minted coins were reserved for proof sets, but every now and then, error coins made their way into general circulation. A coin with a misplaced or missing mint mark can send shockwaves through the collecting world. Consider the possibility of a 1980 penny that was struck at the San Francisco Mint but erroneously lacks an S mint mark. Or maybe even more bizarre, a coin minted in Philadelphia that carries a phantom S or D due to an error during the die engraving process. These kinds of mint mark anomalies are exceedingly rare, and in perfect condition, they can raise the value of a coin dramatically. But the mystery doesn't stop there. In some cases, double die verse or reverses can dramatically raise a coin's value. The doubling of letters, numerals, or features like Lincoln's eye or ear has fascinated collectors for decades. In the case of the 1980 Lincoln penny, there have been unconfirmed reports of dramatic doubling on the date, or the word liberty. If such a variety were verified and graded by a reputable third-party grading service like PCGS or NGC, it could command a staggering premium at auction, especially if only 1 or 2 specimens exist. Now imagine combining several of these rare anomalies into one single coin. A double die obverse, struck on the wrong planchet, off-center, with a mint mark error, and preserved in flawless condition. Such a coin would not just be rare, it would be virtually unique. Collectors and institutions around the world would compete fiercely for the chance to own such a numismatic masterpiece. Bidding could skyrocket into the tens or even hundreds of millions of dollars, as rarity, condition, and mystery all converge to drive value beyond imagination. One of the main elements contributing to this coin's mythos is its condition. In numismatics, condition is everything. A coin can increase exponentially in value if it is discovered in mint state, with little to no wear, clean surfaces, strong strike, and appealing eye appeal. A hypothetical 1980 Lincoln penny with all of the aforementioned error attributes, preserved in mint state red condition, graded MS-70 by PCGS, would likely break every auction record ever set. Just one such example, if authenticated and certified, could become the Mona Lisa of American coinage. But some theories about the 1980 Lincoln cent's astronomical value go even further, entering the realm of legend and whispered rumors among elite collectors. There are claims, though none officially documented, of 1980 pennies struck on gold or silver planchets as part of minting experiments. If any such coin survived, either because of error or intentional mint work or curiosity, its value would immediately skyrocket. The legal implications of owning such a coin would add to its mystique, further inflating its price on the rare occasions it might surface in private trade or be displayed in ultra-exclusive coin expos. Equally fascinating is the possibility of a transitional error. Transitional errors occur when a coin is accidentally struck using outdated dies or planchets from the previous or next year. These errors are rare and are typically discovered after years of study. A 1980 penny struck using a 1979 die, or a 1981 planchet, could fall into this category, especially if it carries characteristics that are inconsistent with known issues from its year. This adds another layer of mystery and intrigue that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for. Even the smallest varieties can become goldmines for collectors. Variations in the thickness or shape of the mint mark, the alignment of the rim lettering, or differences in the spacing between the letters of "In God We Trust" have all led to certain coins achieving legendary status. The idea of a coin being unique due to something as seemingly insignificant as a shifted Y in Liberty is not far-fetched in this world. If just one coin exists with this kind of anomaly, its uniqueness becomes its most valuable asset. Let's not forget the impact of provenance. Sometimes, a coin's value is increased simply by its history, who owned it, where it was discovered, and how it was preserved. If a 1980 penny with all of these features were found buried in the cornerstone of a government building, or part of a mysterious inheritance tied to a former mint employee, or hidden away in a forgotten collector's hoard for 40 years, its backstory would add emotional weight and monetary value. Provenance can push a coin's price tag from high to historic. In recent years, public awareness of valuable era coins has grown tremendously, thanks to social media, documentaries, and high-profile auctions. Stories of pennies selling for 6 or 7 figures capture the public imagination. People start checking their pocket change, dreaming of finding that one magical coin. This kind of cultural phenomenon adds a psychological and speculative premium to rare coins, where anticipation and legend build to create demand far beyond what the coin might be, officially, worth based on numismatic standards. Grading services have reported an uptick in submissions of 1980 Lincoln cents, likely driven by rumors and reports of strange varieties. While many turn out to be ordinary, every once in a while, a coin shows just enough anomaly, just enough deviation from the norm to fuel speculation that the legendary $290 million penny may actually exist. And if someone were to own it today, or stumble across it tomorrow, the discovery would set off a frenzy that would ripple across the coin collecting world and beyond. But the story of this coin isn't just about value. It's about curiosity, attention to detail, the enduring appeal of American currency, and the thrill of the hunt. It reminds us that even the smallest, most overlooked object can hide a secret of immense value. That something millions of people walk past or spend every day could hold within it a story so rich and complex that its monetary value becomes almost secondary to its cultural significance. Numismatics is a field filled with surprises, and this 1980 Lincoln penny is a testament to that truth. Its purported $290 million valuation may seem staggering, even unbelievable, but when you consider everything we've explored today, it becomes clear that its value is a reflection of many layers: minting history, human error, collector psychology, and the universal allure of hidden treasure. Even today, there are collectors, researchers, and mint historians poring over every known 1980 Lincoln penny in existence, searching for that one elusive coin, the one with all the anomalies, preserved in perfect condition, carrying with it a story so powerful it could rewrite the history books of U.S. currency. If and when it is found, the world will know. Until then, the hunt continues. So next time you find a penny in your pocket, take a closer look. You never know if you're holding a piece of American history worth more than a skyscraper, more than a yacht, more than a priceless painting. You might just be holding the 1980 Lincoln cent that turns.